Okay. All right, anybody want to start? Paula? Okay. All right. Let's see what you got. Oh, someone else is,
Oh, you can.
hey, what's that? Okay.
Yeah, no, that is a. Hopefully, it's not Disney World thing. And I just. It reminded me of, Alice in Wonderland types, and I put in the White Rabbit.
Okay. I think Dave just came in on Zoom, I think. Or he's coming, so maybe sign in. All right,
That's cool.
yeah, that is cool. So you put the rabbit in now.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow, fit in there real nice.
Now, when you do that, you tell where you want it.
and I just put in a rectangle with it.
Okay.
And just put it where you want. And maybe.
Yeah, or if you have a specific shape, you can use the freehand tool for
Okay.
selection, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning, everybody.
All right. Well, we're starting on Paula's.
Okay, that's neat.
So this little rabbit was put in using AI, so.
So you darkened the sky, but you just darkened the greens you said too. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted some of those fresh.
Yeah, that worked out nicely. Well, that's a lot of upkeep, keep that thing going. Can imagine. Nice. All right.
Now this, the sort of thing I took in this picture was the chairs. I would walk by them every day and I said, I gotta get a picture of it.
Yeah.
I finally did, and the background and the dog and all AI.
Oh,
Oh, jeez,
did you specify black and white or?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Green color, and I changed it.
So it came right in with black and white and did its own masking and everything else. Huh? Wow.
And then, yeah, that's the-
Yeah, a little funky in here, but gee, pretty much everywhere else looks nice. Yeah. So you're having fun with, what are you using, generative fill or the one with the little photographic tool, which,
I'm using the new beta generative fill.
yeah, okay. Are you using any reference photos or are you just typing in?
No.
Text.
No reference photo, chairs. And then I just asked for an English drawing. And I had to go through my stuff on my line.
Right. Yeah, and they give you what, 3 at a time?
Sandy, if
Yeah.
you were wanting to fill in the slats with the background, how might you go?
I would probably mask it first. Yeah, mask the chairs first and then do the, so everything was transparent, but the chairs. And then you could set up another layer behind it and do it that way. That would probably be a way to go. It looks like it's trying to get it through there, but no, I don't see any detail at all. So I'm thinking it pretty much just. I'm not sure. What was behind the chairs?
The house, these were sitting in the front of a house.
Oh, okay, was the house pretty close, so you'd see the,
Yeah, the house.
all right, so it did bring the background through, it just brought it through lighter. So it actually masked around it pretty well.
And basically what I did, I had it remove the background. And then do the generative fill.
Right. Okay.
Is the dog real? Is this your dog, Paula?
No, that's AI.
Yeah.
Okay, you asked for that. too.
Somebody's dog.
Okay,
Wake up. He looks too comfortable. Yeah. All right.
nice.
Well, you could always go in and select these and darken them
Mhm.
down a little bit
Yeah.
and make it a little more believable.
Yeah.
And
Sorry?
the only thing that's AI in this one is the eagle.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a nice shot.
Hmm.
Where were you for the fireworks show?
Probably using.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's nice, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, worked out nicely.
Very patriotic.
Yep.
Oh,
I think I probably submitted this once before, probably a year ago. But when I did, I changed to put it on a black background and crop it a little more.
Mhm.
But this was at the Desert Museum.
Ah, okay. Yeah, those guys are wonderful.
I've never been there to see the pygmy owl. I've never seen the pygmy owls there. I'll have to look at
Yeah.
Well, this was years ago.
Years, okay.
You know, there's a spot, who went there? I know, Jim Murphy and
Uh-huh.
somebody else found them up in those little drainage ditches off the,
Oh,
off the
really?
road. Going out toward, was it Stillwater or whatever they call that one area that's a little northwest of Tucson off of I-10,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
or Sweetwater,
Sweetwater.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he had some interesting shots of them too, but never, not disclosed.
Yeah.
Mm, nice.
Uh-huh.
I had a background that I changed, put it black and white, and then I accidentally inverted it, and I liked it, so I left it, and then added some green to the background. And
Mhm.
brought in the skull that was sitting in somebody's front yard. So
Uh, It's interesting the way it's spread in the front. Yeah, there's a lot of nice textures going on there.
Very nice graphics.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wonder if maybe just softening or taking the background slightly out of focus, so everything isn't so
Mhm.
in your face sharp. Might give it a little more depth.
okay.
I'm just curious if that would hold with the blur.
Hmm.
You probably have it on layers anyway, right? So you can,
No, I think
okay,
decrease the size.
yeah. If you're ever unsure, always save a layers version, then flatten it and save it as another name so you can go back. Um, I just got in that habit with clients that never knew what they wanted. That was always a good thing to do. What's going on here? Come on down. Let's see here. This lens blur. See if it'll figure out some depth there. If not, I think we can cheat it a little bit, or just select subject and blur it like the old fashioned way. I'm just curious if it'll work. Yeah, it looks like it's taking it down.
Yeah.
Oh,
The first two.
a lot.
There we go.
Yeah, so you could just do maybe a little bit. Oh, maybe something like that. Now, this area, if you want to add to it, to the blurred area, you have these refinement tools, so you've got blur here. And you have an amount, so we'll probably try and match what's there and. Oh, we don't want to push that. Yeah, something like that. Just using my bracket keys to make it bigger and smaller. Let's just use the visualization and see how that's working. Yeah, it's still. Oh, we've got the Weather's not bad. Yeah, the flow's all the way up. I'm surprised it, let's turn on auto mask and see if that works. Yeah, so what we can do to adjust that is bring that back from. That's a little better. So it does work. That's pretty amazing. So that algorithm's pretty good. All right. Is that it? Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
So, when you said flatten, there are three options, three choices, right? You have flatten and then
It's a merge.
merge, and
This one.
I can't remember the third one.
Where you can bring the layer above it down to the layer that's highlighted. You can merge two layers. I don't remember the name of it because I always use a shortcut.
Well, I can't.
Oh, I think it's merge down or merge up or merge down. I don't remember, but basically it takes the two
But
layers.
there are three options. Oh, flatten,
Well, flatten just flattens everything.
and is that the one, is that the one, I mean, I use either the top one or the bottom one, not understanding what the hell, you know.
Okay.
Not
All right,
understanding.
if you want to, and you don't necessarily have to flatten it if you decide to pick, well, some, in beta, I think they changed it, I don't remember. Basically, if you do a save as and pick JPEG, it'll flatten it, on the way out when it makes it. Whereas, so what I would do is, save the image that's got layers and then do a save as. And then make it a JPEG. Yeah, then you got two different files. You want me to go through that? All right. Let's see here.
It's like, because you can't, because if you're, I'm so delighted to be here for this session, because I wondered if anybody was doing the generative fill or expand or whatever, and I just started doing it, and I wasn't even sure that you were on board with it, Sandy, but
Nah,
the
yeah.
very first photos included, so I'm delighted to be here, especially delighted.
Well, good. Let me see then. I'm gonna move Dave here a little bit. So we got that one. Let's grab this one real quick. Okay. So maybe we want to just subject or select the object here real quick. There we go. Okay. Copy. Just paste it into here. For whatever reason. Okay. So we want to save it as layers. We'll just do file save. Okay. And it'll ask you for a name and you'll leave it in Photoshop format layers. Okay. And if you're going to print or you're doing something, you can embed a profile. Right now it's embedding the display profile because you didn't assign it anything like Adobe 1998 or sRGB or what have you. So you guys know what profiles are? Okay. Profile is the area that gives the printer, the color space to go from. If you're just going on the web or Facebook or something, sRGB is fine. Or even, yeah, or in this case, the display P3 is pretty good too. So, yeah, anyway. If you don't want it, just leave it off and it won't assign anything, and then whoever gets it can reassign it if you're sending it off to get prints made or something like that. All right, so we're saving it. Okay. Now, if we want to do a JPEG version, we're going to do save as. Okay. And then you're going to take this down to JPEG. And you're going to give it a different, well, since one's a PSD and one's a JPEG, you don't have to change the name, but you can. So let's just do a save. And now it's going to give you JPEG. Let's just make it like an 8 or something, 8 or 9. That's fine. And there you go. So now when we go back here, let's look at date modified. Yeah, here's the two images. So you can see it's quite a difference in size. Yeah. Now you could save it like at maximum, 12 on the JPEG, and it'll go up a little bit, but it'll be considerably smaller than this. So. Now the trick here is when you go to close it, sometimes it'll ask you to save it. Do you want to save it? And if you flatten it, say no, then that way you'll have the layer file. So if you're in the habit of flattening and then saving it as a JPEG, you don't want to save it at that point. You want to go back to a prior state. So we could do this, open recent. So yeah, I've lost the history, but let's just say we duplicated that, or we did some other work and what have you, and then we move it around. And then we save it again. And then we'll save it as a JPEG. Yeah. Okay. And maybe at this point we say we want to flatten it. I haven't made a shortcut key because I hate looking for it. So I just do Command Shift period and that flattens it. So there's how it's flattened. So at this point, if you want to close this image and you want to, say you exported, did something else, and it's in this flattened state, which you can see here, there's no layers. If you open up this history panel, and if you don't have that, you can go under Windows and find history right here. If you want to, if you don't have it open already. But if you go under history, what'll happen is you can just go up one state and there's your layers and then save it. Okay. So now it's not flattened. So there's different ways to get to where you want to go. And at that point, you're not, throwing all your work out that you did in layers. And you're not taking up that much more room by saving a flattened version in JPEG. But the easiest way to wrap your head around it is save the layers version, then do a save as JPEG. Then you have to worry about whether you flattened it or not, and going back in history and all the other stuff. But if you do, that's the way to get back. Okay. All right, let's get rid of that. Right, that. Okay. So let's get back to names. Yeah, let's see what you got, Tim.
Bee flying into a cactus bloom.
Oh, okay.
So it's my attempt to sort of, close-up macro type photography. And I've tried the bee going into different colored flowers, and yellow doesn't really work very well because there's not enough contrast.
Mhm.
And, this works pretty good. And sort of when I'm photographing the bee, I kind of like lose track of space, and I'm kind of going with the bee into the center of the flower, and that's the kind of feeling I'm trying to create, is sort of a, into the looking glass, following the bee into the flower.
Mhm. Yeah, I might want to move him in just a little bit more, so he looks like he's going in there, maybe, maybe in this direction slightly, just to get him away from, yeah, so bring him up and over just a hair, just to get, I'd probably get him so that this tangent here of the pedal rather than the outside tangent is kind of coming across his body, so it looks like he's in there instead of just starting to go in, although I guess depends on what your interpretation is, where you want to put him, but
No, yeah, that's a good idea. So using Photoshop, moving them in and sort of
mhm.
clean up the pedal.
Yeah, you can do that, maybe with, cloning or generative fill, you can get rid of him, but,
Yeah,
it might be a possibility. What lens were you using on this?
oh, I was using a 300 millimeter. I think it was like an f2.8 something. I mean, 3.2.
Yeah, did he actually go in?
Yeah, and this was like a series of photos, and some of them were more successful than others. There's such a thin depth of field looking with it. It's like hitting this, and but it's good practice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you have autofocus where you can lock onto the B and?
yeah, I mean, my keeper rate's not that high, but I'm just, it's kind of the feeling that I was working towards, and then still kind of more of a proof of concept than action.
Yeah. You may want to do like multi-frame, you don't need high speed or anything, but and then just do a burst of him going in there and pick the best one.
Right.
Yeah, that might give you some other options too while you're shooting.
Yeah.
I always, coming from film, I always was anticipating and trying not to shoot too much even with a motor drive because you only had 36 frames, but
I still do that.
and you get stuck in that paradigm and now, you can just blast away. So why
I
not?
can burn through so quick, it's. I still kind of have it.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of ingrained. Yeah, you just have to re-educate yourself. I struggle with it all the time. It's just like, why am I anticipating? Just shoot. Yeah, you got lots of space. Well, right. Yeah, I like it. I would maybe darken this up a little bit. Anybody else? Comments or, okay. Yeah, colors are great. Okay.
This is the Egret from just down the street.
Oh, nice. That's a wonderful shot.
And, this was in the evening, but I darkened the background, so just sort of the contrast, because the white bird in the dark background, I guess. And,
Just make him a little bigger.
those, it's like a runway pose to me, just, it's a different, perspective.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I go photographing with a friend of mine I used to work with. We both worked in accounting. When we worked together, we both saw things the same way. But when we're photographing, it's like
Night and day. The other side of the brain is different. That's interesting.
And so I tend to go look at the unusual perspectives and less of a feel good type of look.
Yeah, that's very nice. Quite different. It's nice you darken the background down so there's no distractions there.
Yeah, and I'm still learning, and I get carried a little bit away with things like the texture slider, may have overdone the limb a little bit. But,
Yeah. Are you aware of using masks?
yeah,
Okay. Are you doing your work, your editing in Lightroom or Camera Raw or?
mostly in Lightroom.
Mhm.
One thing I do like with birds a lot is I'll put a radial gradient around the eye, and sometimes I'll maybe just barely raise the exposure like 0.16, then sharpen and denoise, and it just kind of gives that more of a shiny look.
Yeah.
If I can, if I don't get anything else in focus, if I get the eye good, then I feel pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. But getting back to the texture, you know, if you just mask him out and do the texture and not do it overall,
Right.
you know, just save that for the bits you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, and do it with a mask locally.
Yeah.
That's always a good way to go.
And I don't know if I should have left more headroom or,
Well, again, I zoomed in.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you got, I think you got enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got plenty of headroom.
And I think I may have had like a radial gradient to just sort of make the background.
Get a little glow there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice. Yep, very nice. So again, yeah, just selectively put your texture in where you need it
Mhm.
and you'll be good to go.
This one, I was using like a 1 to 500 millimeter lens with a 2x teleconverter, so it was pretty soft.
Mhm.
What I was trying for is, you know, you have wildlife in, you know, man-made setting. And, you know, so you got that contrast where you're like,
Mhm.
you know, you got that cognitive dissonance of like, what's wrong here? And so, that was what I was going for, and it was still pretty soft, so I tried to open it up and use black and white to kind of draw more contrast. And, I don't know if anybody has any other thoughts on it.
Yeah.
What else I could do much,
Well, I think you plugged your highlights up a bit. Maybe you could back down on the highlight and the whites.
okay,
But other than that, yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
like maybe, well, I don't know if this area would look that good grayer or not.
mhm,
But you know, you could darken the whole background down just a little bit
okay,
and just keep him.
yeah, so that'd be good.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
There's a,
So is that a Canon 100 to 500?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I have the 2X as well, and you gotta watch the edges. They get really soft.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp focus in the middle of the thing.
Yeah. But if you need the reach, it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's all compromises when, you know.
Exactly.
This one, I'm completely switching gears. I haven't had much experience with this, but what I'm trying to do is some kind of abstract, right?
Mhm.
And there's like the reflection in the first glass, there's a reflection in the back, there's a reflection in the door.
Mhm.
And so what the feel I'm trying to create is sort of like the mystery of like, oh, am I looking out or am I looking in? And I mean, am I inside looking outside, or is it the other way around?
Mhm.
And sort of, you know, what's the woman there that's my mother-in-law, who's she looking at, the guy with the trumpet, what's his story? And this is the coffee exchange in Tucson.
Oh, on Campbell, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's, what you're seeing is the reflection, this is the inside looking to the outside patio, right? And so the reflections are the concessions bar behind me as I'm taking this photo. But it creates enough layers that, you know, I'm trying to create some kind of abstract of it.
Mhm.
And there's a negative space here on the side. And my wife thought I should maybe crop that in more.
Yeah, that would be my first thought.
And
What else, guys?
What, Sandy, crop the right side, were you saying?
Yeah, crop this in.
Hmm.
What else would you guys do?
Uh,
like it's sliced it a little.
Yeah, you might wanna, you know, do some work on that keystoning. Aside from that, my eye keeps going up here And
Oh, yeah.
you don't want it up there, so I would darken this down a lot, or maybe crop it out, I don't know. I guess we could play with it and find out. Let's see here. Okay, so let's just, I'm gonna put this here so I can bring it down a little bit. Or this bar from Zoom gets really annoying, but we'll work around it. Okay. So right now we're in our crop tool. You know, before we crop it, maybe what we ought to do is go into camera raw and straighten it up and see what.
Okay.
Well, that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, the old fashioned way, is to just do transform. So I'm going to use a shortcut. I'm going to use Command T, and I'm going to right click in here, and I'm going to do. No, let's try to store it. So if you grab one of these, if you hold the shift key down, it'll keep it straight.
Wow.
Kind of bring it in that way. Yeah,
Wow.
same over here.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, so that might be enough. Okay. All right, so look at the return here. Now we can crop it. So, let's figure out
Yeah.
what to do here. I guess I could bring that left side in even a little more. Yeah, let's get out of that. Oops, undo that. All right, so go back here, right click, distort. Yeah, looks a little better. Okay. In your view, you can always put up a grid too, if you want to see what things are doing.
Uh-huh.
It's helpful.
Great.
Yeah, all right. So, but I find it annoying most of the time, so I'm just gonna turn it off. All right, so now we'll go back and crop it and go from there. So I don't know, let's just kind of rough it in and see what we like here. Do we want to take some top down? Yeah, I guess. Do we want to go real hard? I don't know. How important's the top of that door to you?
No, not very.
Okay, so maybe you can even come down to here, somewhere in this area.
Mhm.
Or we can leave it for now and we can certainly crop it again after we darken it down if it's still offensive. I don't know if you want to get rid of some of this foreground. Again, let's just leave that for now. I think this is probably enough. And let's go to camera raw. Okay, so now it's going to go back to the uncropped version. At any rate, what I would probably do is first I see you're already spiking your highlights and everything else. I bring the highlights down.
Mm.
Now I'm not watching the histogram at this point. I'm just looking at the image, but it looks like it's already taken care of itself. We do have some black, but I don't know that it's. Yeah, you can get a little more shadow detail there. Okay. Yeah, kind of on the border there. That's fine. Okay. And let's see if we bring the white down just a bit. Somewhere in there, I think so. Okay. Now that I've got kind of a global thing that's working for me, I start going selectively. So the first thing I would do is I'd get a linear gradient and come in here. And just
Mm.
see the over. Oh, why I can't see my handles here. Anyway. Somewhere in there, maybe take a little white out. Then we just make another one, new mask. On your gradient, just kind of come down here. Don't know why this doesn't keep the bars on. Something new.
So do you think that sort of strong lines with the ceiling and the verticals, is that interesting, or is that kind of too many things?
Nah, it might be too many things, but if we take it down a bit, we'll find out. I'm gonna get out of this this mask and just brush it in, because I'm not happy with what's going on here. All right, so let's add one. We'll just use a brush this time. And I'm gonna leave auto mask off and just kind of slug it in there. Okay, to start. Okay. And then if I hold down the option key for the negative side, I'll put the auto mask on and erase what I don't want. Okay. So now that I have that taken care of, I can go down here. And let's just start by taking the whites down a little bit, maybe the highlights. There we go. Maybe even a little exposure. I can see it's getting dark here, so got mask leaking over there. Get rid of it. There we go. I think that's starting to help it a little bit. So now, let's just say we're done. Now, getting back to your texture thing, if or sharpening, we can take a brush here and just kind of go in here and maybe we'll work on her a little bit. So depending on what you're going for, you can either make her softer or more prominent, however you want to feature her. First, she's got some kind of hot highlights, so maybe take that down just a little bit. Maybe even a little more. And then come back with a little white, so it's not so dingy. And then we go down here to sharpness, maybe we'll sharpen her up a little bit. There's your texture. They put it in a different spot here than in Lightroom. When you're in the mask, usually you got to go down below the curves to get it. I actually like it better here. And you can play with clarity a little bit. And, yeah, maybe a little DAs. So I don't think it needs it. You want to add a little grain, it's there, but again, you're only affecting her because we've masked her off and made it local. All right, let's say we're done for now. And there's your crop.
Yeah, getting rid of the keystone made a big difference.
Yeah, and darkening things down and bringing your attention to the center. Now, there's one more thing we might have done to create kind of a vignette effect would be to take an ellipse in camera raw. We can go back. And go to your locals. Let's do radio. Maybe we'll do something like that. Again, I don't know why I don't have my handles somewhere here. I must just switch something off. Anyway, see it, but can't move it. There should be an invert here somewhere. Oh, here it is. They made it as sign. All right. There we go. Just just a little bit like that, you know.
Mhm.
Here's your eyeball, so you can see how much you've done. Yeah, I think that's enough.
Mhm.
So there, it just kind of brings it down a little bit more to the center.
That's nice.
If I had my tools, I probably would have moved it down a little bit lower around her and a little bit to the left, but I'll have to find out what's going on with that. You know, maybe we'll quit this and use beta and I'll figure this, whatever I switched off later on that. Okay. So, that's what I would do on that.
This has been another the drive-by really. My wife suggested that garden in the front.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
And,
Yeah, I'd probably come into the edge of, either edge of the sign or the edge of the window, get rid of that. Yeah, bring this down a bit. Again, maybe do kind of a reverse radio and set an area that you want.
I got sort of a question.
Mhm.
In the previous photo, I actually knew all the people in there. These people, I don't know, I mean, just around a public restaurant. And I don't know if there's like ethical issues with just taking pictures.
If you're selling it commercially, like say IBM wanted some lifestyle thing, no, you can't without releases. If you're just showing it, there's no issues.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
Mhm. Nice start. Keep it up. Okay, Wendell.
I'm buying all straight Photoshop, nothing exotic, but we were 2 weeks ago up in Monument Valley and,
Oh, these are recent.
yeah,
Oh, excellent.
yeah. And we stayed in a View Hotel right in the middle of the park. And this was the view from the balcony of our room.
Nice.
Stuff about that place, that is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a very convenient place to be there at sunset. Of course, I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was just a straight single image. I thought later I maybe should have done a panorama with about 3 images to get a bigger file, but it seemed to come out sharp enough. I just didn't do a whole lot other than crop it down to this wide format.
Yeah, I like the crop.
I do too.
This isn't a pano?
No,
You just cropped it long.
dropped down to what I thought was about the right proportions.
Mhm.
I did a little darkening on some light points in the lower end there. Otherwise, I had not darkened the sky. Used the
Okay.
to bring down that blue sky.
Mhm.
Anyway, the famous mittens and American Butte
Yeah. All right.
a lot.
One of my favorite places. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
wonderful. And it's always different, depending on the weather and time of day. It's just
What
amazing.
was the temperature like up there a couple weeks
It
ago?
was in the upper 90s.
Was it?
It was relatively hot for there, but
Yeah.
not for us.
All right.
And we took a tour, which the rest of the pictures are taken on this tour in a truck out around the thing. And that's really where the interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Encountered, you don't see pictures of all. I just started with this one, set the scene.
Oh.
This,
Wow.
several of these little windows that are in the rocks out there in the part that is only accessible with the tour guide. But one where our tour guide knew something about photography because I hadn't even seen this, but he had me come around behind these little spires of rock.
Mhm.
And he said, sit down on that little rock. And take a picture." I did.
Which is always nice. Yeah.
Got those slabs of vertical
Yeah.
stone right in there in the foreground, and the little window at the top. Again, not a whole lot of exotic work, I just tried to get the lighting on the vertical slabs in the middle there lightened up to make them look a little better. And then I made the sky a little more blue,
Mhm.
mostly, I guess, using brushes for the most part in this one.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Only
Mhm.
the
Nice.
vertical spire is right at the bottom of the brightly lit part just below the windows. But I couldn't do a whole lot about that. So
Mhm.
that's, well, but it's more of an abstract than a scenic.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
This was another area that was off limits for private vehicles. It's called Ear of the Wind, that opening, that arch. And this was another location that the tour guide said, go up and sit on that rock with the X on it.
You got everything picked out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
did, and I took several from around that area, but I like this one the best for my old tree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think yes, on this one, I did have to take out a few people that were on the sandy slope
Right.
below the eye. It is an image that I don't remember ever seeing from Monument Valley.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
remember the tree, it shows up on the slide later. Anyway, again, just straight Photoshop darkening the sky, and I think darkening some of the foreground,
Yep.
sandy slope there, bringing out texture. I used that a lot, texture and clarity.
Mhm. Yeah. With the rocks, it helps.
How did you eliminate the people, Wendell?
Wow.
Eliminate the people.
Oh, just, in this case with, healing brush and Photoshop.
So this gives you the scale.
Yeah. I'm so glad the people are there to get the scale.
Yeah, I did leave them in this one.
Mhm.
Anyway,
That's
that's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Nice.
And again, about-
this is still Monument Valley?
Yes, all of these are in the south end.
Really?
This
Nice.
is pretty much the southernmost point that we got to, and the park itself, I think.
Uh-huh.
But the tour worked out very well. We got to see a lot of interesting formations that
Mhm.
not usual tourist magazine shots.
Right.
Did you do that, was the tour arranged through the hotel?
No, I went online and
Uh-huh.
found them. This happened to be called the Monument Valley Safari Tours. And they have a really nice website, so I figured they might be a good one. And they turned out they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, looks pretty nice.
But
What kind of
Wendell, what was
heat?
the name of that tour?
Monument Valley Safari Tour.
Yeah, what was it?
Monument Valley Safari. Safari.
Oh, okay.
Just Google that. You'll probably find it.
Yeah, they have new vehicles and, or there's probably other companies up there doing this, but some have kind of older vehicles.
Yeah. You sure don't want to break down out there.
Oh, no. Wendell, what kind of heat were you in?
Said about,
It was in the upper nineties that day, but, it was tolerable.
Okay.
Out between 9 and 12:30. It was 3.5 hour tour.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
yeah, the canvas cover or something.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is the same tree from the other side.
That's cool.
And this is the picture I saw because. they put
Yeah,
it
this
on
is
the
really
tree.
nice. Yeah.
It just made a nice contrast.
Yeah.
With behind.
Yeah. This reminds me of some of your Zion shots.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, very much so.
yeah. Yeah, I just happened to be there at the proper lighting for that.
Definitely.
Taken out, and I didn't have to do a whole lot other than I think I emphasized the red in the rock a little and
Mhm.
de-emphasized the green of the trees
Right,
and the shrubs.
you know, this one's a keeper.
Yeah.
No.
Very nice. Okay, I think that's it, right?
Nice.
Black and white also.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet. All right, Dave, you're up.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Sandy, I got it. I got the shot. I've
There
been
it is.
talking for weeks about the Jumping Frog Jubilee.
Yeah.
Folks, I carried my camera way up there deep into the gold country in the Angels Camp, Calaveras County Fair, and I got the shot, Sandy, finally.
You know, he looks.
Last week I showed kind of a composite shot.
Right.
You know, I had to superimpose a art frog on with the frog jockey, but this one is whole. It's an integral photograph. I did render it in watercolor.
Uh-huh.
But isn't that, look at that frog.
And the guy, he's almost in a kind of a frog pose there.
Yeah, it's a quintessential moment of the frog jockey. Sandy, I want to ask you, does this qualify as a decisive moment?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you.
One thing I would do is get rid of this
Okay,
when you get the tools to do it.
yeah, the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
people are fun. They're almost
Yeah,
abstract. I
they
like
don't
that.
bother me.
Yeah,
Just that table.
yeah. I
That's
just keep
fine.
going back there. Yeah.
yeah. But the figure and the frog are, it's really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay, folks, a flautist in the marching band. This is in Angels Camp, the high school marching band in the youth parade. And I feel this was kind of lucky for me because it's a long zoom and my hands shake like crazy. And I managed to get some clarity and focus on the main figure. And then it's nice that the figure behind the flautist is out of focus. So you got high focus and you got some blur. So
You've got some.
I like this.
Yeah, definitely.
and those were definitely the reflections in her glasses?
Yeah, isn't that cool, Kim? I didn't touch a thing on this. I mean, I did render it in watercolor to bring up some color, but the refinement and the focus is almost 3D. It looks really cool. Of course, Sandy, it's blown out. This is a daytime parade.
Yeah.
But I really like this and just wanted to share it with you guys.
Contrasty lighting, but fortunately it's bright enough. We had a fast enough
Yeah,
to keep your motion down.
yeah.
Excellent.
Kind of a lucky shot. So, because they're moving, you know,
Yeah,
and it's a long zoom. So,
very nice.
thank you. Okay, folks, this very strange image was taken in Calaveras County at Columbia City. They had a reenactment 1850s mining camp going, so people were dressed up. But the way I cut this is very strange. It's almost a Twilight Zone moment. And you see the man on the left is seated, but the same man has walked into the background on the right. And the strange, stiff, zombie-like arms, like what happened? Did he walk by her and she's bewildered and I don't know what happened? It's a Twilight Zone moment, kind of. Nice color. I call this plaidness, of course, because of the shirt, but it's close, Sandy, to madness.
Gladness, madness.
Gladness, madness.
Yeah, I like what's going on with the distortion on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The watercolor filter,
Oh, the whole.
yeah, does a nice softening of the tonalities.
Hands are almost like a little crab.
Yeah.
Very strange how they both had the zombie-like arms and The way I cut it is like he walked by her or something, you know, or maybe walked through her.
Could be.
Oh, do 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 do.
There you go. Nice. I like this.
Thank you. Thanks, Sandy. Okay, a double portrait. You folks know I've been doing double portraits. This woman was working in the Chinese laundry reenactment, and the only clue to that is the round shape is a China cap.
Mhm.
But I'll tell the story briefly. They were running a funny skit about the Chinese laundry. A very big and tall man had brought his trousers in to get cleaned, and he comes back on the day expected to get his clothes back. And the Chinaman said, not ready, not ready. Come back tomorrow, come back tomorrow. So he comes back and the clothes aren't ready again. And again, tall man, he comes back on the third day to pick up his pants. And the Chinaman sends this woman back to go get the trousers. And she comes back. She has retrieved a very teeny small pair of pants that had shrunk down like a child's pants. And then all manner of ruckus broke out. And it was really funny skit, you know. They were doing reenactments everywhere. Now, the woman, aside from the reenactment, I'd say you're looking at a very stern woman, daughter of We Can Do It generation, Rosie the Riveter. She's tough, she's resolute, she's stern, but she's humble. She's accepted her lot in life, and she will clean your laundry, Sandy, but if you give her a hard time, she will surely clean your clock.
Yeah. Yeah. Too funny.
Yeah. You know, guys, I like to tell stories that are a little outside the photograph. So thanks for your patience.
Yeah, this one's very nice. I like this one a lot.
Yeah. This one is a composite collage. It was very big, and then I cropped it down to the essential elements. You have a nice pyramid being built up by the shades and this wonderful red umbrella, and then the woman in the blue dress. And I call it tin cup because the central focus is her holding out the tin cup, and everything else is mystery.
Oh, quite a bit. I keep trying to figure out what all this is.
Yeah, it's cut, Sandy. Because
I
there was some children back there, and then I kept bringing it closer and closer. So it's really fractured a lot because I was focusing on the woman in the umbrella.
Yeah, but you got a lot of nice lines going on here.
Mhm.
This, you got all this stuff playing around. You've got this bit, and then you've got this line, which almost makes it dimensional. Yeah, I like it a lot.
It does have my signature incongruous junctures, Sandy. You know, I'm doing the weird thing. But folks, does anyone see the pair of shoes back here behind the umbrella?
Sure.
You do see it, Sandy. Did you see that movie Dress to Kill? Right? When she's taking a shower and the nurse's shoes are she can see through them. So that's strange. There's obviously a person standing behind there, but I thought I'd bring that out.
Now, is there, or is it just a pair of shoes?
You're gonna have to decide. Use your imagination.
There you go. Okay, I think
the lighting is cool, Sandy. It's dramatic, it's colorful. This is 2 pieces run into a watercolor filter.
Yeah, I think this one's my favorite. I like the Gladness Madness, but I think it's aesthetically nicer. Yeah.
Thank you.
Story.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, Sandy.
Sure. On us.
Yeah, these were all shot last week along the Miami-Erie Canal. This is a water lily that I shot with a 500 lens. Selected the flower and then inverted it and made everything black. I had to do it a couple of times to get all the lily pads and everything behind it to turn black, and then I put it in Neo and done a little structure and smart contrast on it.
Nice.
I love the black background.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's nice and stark.
Uh,
Yeah. Real nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Don, did you do the radio filter on this one?
Uh, I did a couple of them, couple of radios, and I did some linear also to get the
Uh-huh.
some of the corners. Some of the corners were pretty bright because it was a bright sunny day out there.
Yeah.
I did a radio on the yellow in there to bring a little more texture and stuff into the like flames I call them. But yeah,
Beautiful glowing flowers.
yeah, they
Very
glow. They
nice.
do glow in the light because it's a white flower, and
Uh-huh.
when the sun hits it, they just glow.
I wonder, maybe play a little bit in Luminar. They've got some of those effects, you know, like the Orton effects and some of those other things where you might get a little more hint of a glow going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe you can try that out and see if it works for you.
All right.
Oh,
Make sure
wow.
my ducks in a row.
Oh, boy.
They're either a teal or a mallard. I think they're teals, but I'm not real sure. They're about half grown.
That's fun.
There
Yeah.
again, I did a radio filter on the ducks and then inverted it to darken the top and bottom down.
uh,
And then did some structure in Neo on the ducks and stuff to bring out some texture in them.
Hmm.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah, I like the reflection being a little dark.
Mhm.
That works out.
I like seeing the environment that they're in.
I'd probably knock this leaf out.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
didn't notice that. Again, that's just a painted turtle, they call them,
Uh,
crawling up on a log. That was pretty much all done in Lightroom. I used selected the turtle and brought out, texture and stuff in it a little bit and then reversed it or inverted it and darkened the rest of it down a little bit then again for the picture.
I think there's a couple of these at Agua Caliente, right?
I'm sorry.
Red-eared turtles.
Oh, the red-eared turtles are, yeah, Agua Caliente, the park that's kind of on the northwest part of Tucson. They got a lot of ducks and turtles there too. But yeah, they always come near you. They think you're gonna feed them.
This year's one I put into black and white. And I didn't, the leaves of the lily are always lay flat, and this one didn't for whatever reason. It curled up beside the flower. You can really see the veins and the
Mhm.
leaves and the lily and pad. And so I made it into a black and white. I didn't know whether the leaf and the flower competed against each other too much, or I cropped it too tight. Maybe I shouldn't have cropped it quite as tight. I'm not sure on that.
It's outstanding. The glowing flower, the leaf, the Edward Weston. It's fantastic, Don.
Thank you.
Yeah, the textures are really nice. These, I'm loving these veins here and here.
Mhm.
This whole.
Sandy, I'm thinking of the Edward Weston cabbage, right?
Right,
You know,
yeah,
reminds me of that. It's a very good focus.
nice tonality too.
Thank you.
I don't know if you got any more detail in this white, but that would be the only thing might need a little adjusting.
Yeah, the center of that it was pretty bright. It was a
Pretty
full
blunt.
sunny day and
Yeah, nice,
there's not much left in it.
right.
And
Mm.
this is another one that I shot on. And what I liked about this one was the reflection, and then I don't know what caused the circles in the water, or something moved in there that created those ripples, and I really like the ripples with that. And then you got the another flower bud behind it.
Mhm. Yeah. And I like the way these lead in, and then you've got these textures over here from all the little pieces of plants.
Yeah, that the water is only about 6 inches deep.
That's nice because you can see everything.
Yeah.
Did you put a filter on that, Don? Any kind of
What's that?
Did you put any kind of preset filter on that?
No, no.
Did this one go through Luminar?
Probably did. Probably did.
So yeah, that's what's giving.
Well, I
it
guess it would be a
Punch.
type of filter. Yeah, I was thinking a preset is what I was thinking, but no,
Yeah.
I did filters, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I was thinking presets.
yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I picked the flower and it selected the flower, and it actually selected the bud too, and then everything, I was able to darken everything else down and
Mhm.
add some contrast and texture to it then on everything around it.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay,
Good.
all right. Let's go to Kim here.
I was in Vermont for a long weekend for my niece's wedding. So I was doing their iPhone shots, and some of them still need some work.
Mhm.
This is processed in Snapseed. And this is the old red mill. It's actually got a gift shop in it and a museum. Really just cool place. So we kind of walked, and it was an overcast, sort of an overcast day. In fact, it rained most of the time we were there. Fortunately, it didn't rain. They had a window during the wedding, which was outdoors, but they got lucky. It was just misty.
That's good.
So this was taken with my iPhone, like I said, just processed in Snapseed. I love the red bar and the water coming down from the mill. The mill hasn't been running in years. But the interesting museum that's inside of it is a photographer from back in the late 1800s. In 1885, started doing, I can't remember the exact words. He created his own type of camera system and lenses. He was taking pictures of snowflakes,
Oh, wow.
and the images are just beautiful. I bought a couple prints.
Oh, nice.
Just really amazing that somebody back that long ago could put, come up with a way of doing that kind of photography. I've got to look this guy up more and get more of his history.
Kind of reminds me of that structure in the Grand Canyon with the two brothers that did all the photography.
Oh,
Yeah, they had some interesting things too, but a lot of it was that daredevil stuff they were
Oh,
doing.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Sa- Sandy, could you ask him, where is this again, please?
This is in Jericho, Vermont.
Wow, okay.
Half hour from Burlington.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
all right. Well, now that you're back, maybe you can just play with texture and
Yes.
clear and highlight just to see if you can pull that up.
Yeah, I've transferred everything or exported stuff to my regular desktop so I can play with stuff a bit more.
Yeah, yeah, you might get a little more out of that. Nice. Beautiful area.
Mhm.
Yeah, everything was nice and green and lush. This was the venue. So I just liked the colors, the reflections. And this is where, what they were sort of looking out at. as They were holding the ceremony.
They do it on the knoll or on the pier there?
No, on the grass.
Oh, we're on the,
Yeah,
oh, on the grass on the
over
side.
there.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, none of these are anything special, but it's. And I was having fun trying to catch bubbles. And it worked.
Yeah, it sure did.
Five bubbles. This was before the ceremony. They handed out little things of bubbles to everybody to
Oh, they're having a good time.
having a good
Yeah,
time
yeah.
afterwards too, but so, the young gal that was sitting next to me is my nephew's fiance. So she was blowing the bubbles for me as I was trying to, and I couldn't, on my phone, I really couldn't tell at the time whether I was getting any or not.
Yeah, because you can't see the screen.
Right. So again, this is processed in Snapseed. And
Yeah.
I put the frame around it in Snapseed also.
Well, that's fun.
Bride and groom, converted it into black and white. The only thing I don't like about Snapseed is their healing tool. It just does not
Yeah.
work well. That's why I need to change this into Lightroom and
Yeah, I'd probably crop it.
crop it even more.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Oh,
Put each of his behind. the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah,
And
yeah.
It actually doesn't look too bad, or I was trying to heal this person out.
Yeah.
mhm.
Real noticeable.
Mhm.
Nice.
But I liked it, and it just pops more in black and white than in the color.
Yeah, nice.
And I called this afterwards.
Remnants.
I just
Yeah.
had, there was this drink, finished drink just sitting there, and the chairs are all knocked over.
Yeah,
Right.
and a good time was had by all.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Oh, nice. Excellent. I think that's everybody. Yeah, all right. Well, I didn't get out and shoot much, so I was doing some editing on people stuff and went back to Italy. So,
Wow.
look at. Yeah, so, oh, let me go over here. Yeah,
Wow,
this
Sandy,
guy, he was out just painting away on the street near the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. And the light was just streaming through. It was just perfect.
yeah, the lighting is amazing.
It's got that Leonardo face.
Yes.
Face, the gray hair.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good one, Sandy.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this guy just
Uh-huh.
checking his phone in front of the butcher shop. That was in Naples. And I think this was back in Florence. I can't remember, but it was a nice busy cafe with good
Yeah.
appetite. And this waitress was really energetic. You could see her just flying out the door there. Yeah, she was just bopping around, keeping everybody.
She's still wearing her mask, Sandy.
Yeah, this was back COVID time.
Yeah.
This was a few years back. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
I do too.
Yeah.
All the verticals, Sandy. This is excellent. It's really great.
Yeah,
And then he's in the window.
the aging of all the buildings there, just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had rained, I guess, earlier in the morning, so I just kind of like the
Yeah.
things that were going on in the shadows. Yeah. And a bunch of kids,
Wow.
some fun. The one thing I like, can you guys see this repetition of
Yes.
shapes going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of a little extra surprised.
It's a lot of fun.
Coming around the corner.
Yeah, I guess if you zoom in, you can see some stuff on there too.
Did you see that right away, or was it just?
Yeah, I saw it when I was composing it, but I was trying to get a good motion, a good time with these kids, because being they're just kind of bouncing around, not doing much, and then this guy kind of leaned on him, and he turned to look at him, and that was the right time. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, this kind of standing to the right there, that's, looks like some sort of a costume in the parade.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know what he's wearing. It might be. Oh, it looks like flaming skulls. Okay.
What do we have in that cage, maybe? Is that some sort of feather or
Oh, the
something?
cage on. the-
Yeah, there's some birds. Yeah,
Birds?
yeah, there's probably some birds up there. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Looks like I got a couple of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. Oh, David,
Yeah, everybody had to get in the back and take a shot of his
Yeah.
dish.
yeah.
But I like the repetition going on here.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of fun.
David is in Florence, Sandy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a replica out on the square too, but yeah. Kind of fun. But that's the actual one. And in this hall, they've got various sculptures that are in various states from, beginning huge blocks with just maybe a little bit of an arm coming out and, working their way down.
Oh.
See the process of how they got to these. It's just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's us coming home. This was in Milan, got off the tram and we had done some shopping, a couple stops back to stock up the van before we took off for somewhere. This was in Milan. And
Mm.
we were staying in this farm over here and this was the street. And through this building, there was another farm. Basically you've got the street and it's lined with all these buildings. And then on both sides, just all farmland behind the buildings. It was
The
pretty,
movie is just beautiful.
yeah. Yeah, so this was late fall.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Very nice.
Thanks. Let me stop sharing and quit the recording. Find it.